Hi everyone! I want to do a quick gardening video today just to show you where things are at in my garden. It's the end of July and there's really a lot of beautiful things growing. So I have some tomatoes here. I'll show them to you. So these are all the gold nugget, and they're actually, I got a few surprises. These are all cherry tomatoes, and I thought that they were going to be more grape size, but yeah, a few surprises. So you can actually see this is the trellis I started a while back, but I'll show that to you in a minute. I'm gonna start on the other the first garden bed, so I'll show that to you. So this is the first garden bed. You can see that the tomatoes have grown quite high. This vertical trellising has worked really well. The only thing I've realized is that I actually have to prune the plants a bit, and it takes a little more maintenance than just letting them bush out. Some of them actually folded over, and that was not ideal, though they did start to grow up again towards the sky. But you can see just how many tomatoes I've got, and I just had this whole bowl today, and I know that there's going to be more. This is a green pepper plant. It's growing nicely, though not very fast. You can just see that it's just starting to get two little peppers there. This is my winter squash, and this one over, that's the winter squash. This one over here is it's a small zucchini plant. It hasn't been doing as well over here. I'm not sure. This is a self-watering pot. I'm not sure if it's that or if it's not getting enough sun. There are a few more plants in here, and two of them died off. I may try moving this location. I also ended up with, I don't know, I feel like a lot of this is you end up making some mistakes. You don't always know what's going to happen. So I had grown these from seed, but I was surprised to find that this plant here definitely looks like another gold nugget, and I thought I had a green zebra here. So I only have one green zebra, but it is starting to produce some pretty fruit. So you can start to just see the variegation in there. So I'm excited about that. And then these, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those are all the gold nugget variety. But then this one over here, this should be the indigo rose, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about that because I can see this blackness on the top of the tomatoes, and this should all blush to kind of a rosy red. So yeah, I'm excited to see those. They're all coming along well. It's growing well. The other stuff I have in this bed, so this is the pepper plant that's growing the best. There is a rather stunted one there. There's another one that's also growing pretty well, and those are just doing okay. These actually have two right next to each other. I'm starting to think that maybe it's sucking up too many of the nutrients, so I might pull one of these and see if the other does better on its own. And then I have basil. This is basil. Pretty sure, yeah, this is from seed, so is that. So is this. This one is the purple basil. I need to redo my markers. They all lost their stuff, but that one's from seed. It's growing well. This one was a transplant where I did a cutting and then let it root in water and grew it from that. That one's doing pretty well. That one again is from seed. This guy over here is a volunteer, and honestly, you guys, I'm not sure what it is. I'm thinking based on the shape of the leaves, it may be possibly a melon or a squash. I don't know, but it's all a big experiment. This is one of the fruits that it's producing. You can see it's already pretty big. So I don't know. Do you guys think that's a melon or a squash? The one thing I'm hoping is that it is not a pumpkin or a large watermelon variety, because I've got it growing on the fence here, and I think it'd be really cool if it ends up stretching, you know, all the way along the fence going that way. But yeah, I'm not sure how well that fence is going to be able to support a very, very large fruit, but if it's a smaller one, it should do just fine. So this is the arch trellis. Let me see if I can get it in the light and way you can see it. There we go. And I'm really happy with the results of this. This did take a little bit of work, and this squash plant here, this is a carnival squash, so I'm not going to see any produce from that for at least a few months, but you can see that, you know, it's got some beautiful flowers. That looks like a little fruit beginning there. So it took a while for it to start developing these tendrils, and I wasn't sure if it would. When it was small, it wasn't doing it at all, and I was a little worried, oh, maybe I've gotten a variety that's not going to do well with this, but it's doing great now, and I did have to cut a few stalks to get it to go up the trellis well, but you can see it's really stretching towards the sky, almost gonna arch over, and I think in another you know, few weeks, maybe to a month or so, the top of this trellis will be covered and there'll be a little bit of shade over this part, and I think it's gonna look so pretty. What's doing even better on the trellis, as you can see here, this is a melon plant, and look at it going. So this is the midget melon. Not very midget based on how well it's growing. You know, we got all of these lovely flowers, and you guys, I even have, right, let's see if you can see it, there we go, a fruit. This is actually, I was looking around and I didn't even see how big this had gotten. The full size of it is supposed to be like ripe. It would fit in your hand. So, you know, I don't know, maybe this is like halfway there. It's doing great. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it does well. Might need to give it a little support on the trellis there. What else do I have? The basil is actually doing, the purple basil is doing a little better in this bed, but I might try moving that one because it keeps getting in too much shade, I think, here. We've got another rather sad pepper plant there. I think these needed a little more sun. There's another one there. This bed by the house just doesn't get quite as much sun. There's another basil plant, seems pretty happy. I might move this basil plant over there underneath the tomatoes, just because that's supposed to be a good pairing. Something else about imperfection, you see all this white stuff. I got leaf mulch from the city, and it seemed to have some inborn, what they call like a slime mold in it. And I came to the garden one day, like it had been super humid and moist, maybe like late June or early July here in Northern Virginia. And yeah, it was a bright yellow, and it was just like, it had spread super fast, and it was over like on this part of the bed and over here, and it was really an alarming color, and I'll post a picture of it here so you can see it. But I was like, oh no, what's this? You know, I was worried it was going to hurt the plants, but I looked it up, and apparently it's not harmful to the plants. It's kind of like spiders or something else, right? Or you know, we look at it and we're just like, oh, it scares me, oh my gosh. But then if you investigate it a little further, it actually helps to break down the soil. It can help the plants get nutrients from the soil, so it's not actually that bad. So I just tried to leave it alone, and it really does okay as long as it's not obscuring the plants from chlorophyll. So yeah, that's kind of died off, and that's what you're seeing there. Here we have, these are all my beans, and you guys, this has gotten so much bigger. I was also worried that maybe I'd gotten the wrong variety and it was not going to go up this. I still need to put some more vertical trellising on this part, and I will probably do that this weekend. That's kind of the next thing. But yeah, it is growing up the trellis quite well. And you can see that, let's see, right in here. Got quite a few beans growing. I could even maybe harvest these few, but I don't know. They're looking a little small. I think I might give them, you know, another week or so and even see if I get a few more that are ready to pull so I could have, you know, an actual harvest and make a thing with that. Got some marigold here. That did grow from seed, but it's looking really long, like it needed a little more sun. And there was one other one here. I don't know what happened to it, you guys. It's gone. Who knows? It's a mystery. This bean plant decided to grow up the side of the trellis for the tomatoes. So yeah, I think once I put a trellis here, it's really gonna grow quite well. I got all of my herbs into pots, and so I'm very happy about that. That's what you see here. These are all purple basil, and the color's looking really pretty, and they're doing pretty well. These are all from seed. This is lavender. This was also from seed. This took a while to grow, and really I only got one seedling. I think in the future I'll probably do a cutting, but this one little guy is growing pretty good. So I think if it continues to grow, I might try to do a cutting from this and see if I can get, you know, 2 or 3 plants, because I really wanted some in our front garden bed. I thought that would just be so pretty. But yeah, it's doing well in this pot. I put some more gravel into this dirt because it does just fine with the heat, but the lavender needs lots of drainage. So yeah, definitely need that here. This is the oregano. This stuff just is growing like a weed. It is quite happy. And I have a big bush of it too in my front yard, which came with the house. I didn't even know that's what it was until a friend noticed it. And then this is spearmint, and it's growing pretty happily here. One thing I've noticed, you guys, is I tried to harvest some of this and some of the basil, and I harvested even the smallest leaves, and both of them tasted a lot more bitter. And they haven't flowered. I don't know if it's the heat. I don't know if there's something I'm doing wrong. So if you know the answer to that, please let me know. And here, let's see, we've got one more little basil plant here. And I've got a few more pots that when I get a minute, I'm gonna put here, and I'm planning to try growing some cilantro or some other kind of herb in this one. This is another volunteer, and I did see, I don't know if I can find it now, but I looked before and there's a little purple flower. So I think this might actually be morning glory. Let me know what you guys think. It's obviously a trailing vine, and I may need to cut it back because it's getting a little a little aggressive. But when it first started twining around these planters, I thought, oh, how pretty. You know, it's green. It adds a little more greenness to this area. So I'm gonna keep letting it go a little bit, but I'll probably trim it back soon because I don't want it to eclipse the herbs there. I want them to be able to grow well. This is a bed that I finally, you know, you saw it in the last video up against the wall, but I did not get this put in until this past weekend, or yeah, no, the weekend before that. And then, but not until this past weekend was I able to get more dirt to fill it, because I had that issue with the mold. I did not want to buy, I did not want to get more of the free mulch because that did seem to have a high amount of that mold in it, even the tub that I had. And so there is a tub of that in here, of the free mulch, but I did go to Home Depot and I got more just topsoil and you know, just kind of like some of the cheapest soil I could find, but I think it's gonna work just fine. So anyway, yeah, I'm excited about that. Planning to put in some flowers and probably some plants that are okay with more shade, since you can kind of see based on this location, we're right by the house, that this is gonna be somewhat shady over here. But I think there's some things that will like that, especially in this heat, that they'll have a little more shade. So let's look around to the front bed here. So I planted some wildflowers and these are going great. The one thing I would say is that I planted them all in a line, and you can see here that especially in with strong storms, they flop over. So I'm probably going to try trimming these back. But next time I'll probably spread out the seeds a little bit more so that they're not trying to grow so much on top of each other. And they have gotten quite tall, a little taller maybe than I was expecting. So I think in future I'll actually plant them at the back of the bed, because I think it might be keeping some of these plants in the middle from getting adequate sun. So we'll start over on the right here. This is all what should be broccolini. It's been growing really tall. I keep looking at the center, but I'm not seeing yet any of that, you know, broccolini start. So I'm just letting them continue to grow and water them. So we'll see what we get. That's a little more basil. It's gotten a little bit eaten on the bottom. There's something in here that's eating these leaves too, but the top part's okay, so I'm not too worried about that. This is the dill. This is going great. I'm actually probably going to harvest some of this today to make a little dip with yogurt for my celery for lunch. The pineapple tomatillo, no dice. I don't know. I tried planting it twice, didn't want to grow, so I'm just going to leave it alone. These are all radishes here. I tried pulling up one and it really didn't seem to have any more base to the root of something you could eat. So I don't know. I'm just letting it grow for a few more weeks, so we'll see what happens. The bok choy that was supposed to be back here, they were tiny little plants, and now when I'm looking again, they're just not there. So I think they just didn't do too well. I might try planting these in that new bed that I made, and maybe they'll do better over there. The soil here, even though it has a little bit of amendment, it is pretty clayey and dense, so they might have had a tough start over here. This is the rosemary. This is rosemary that I gotten from that batch of stuff from the Costco, and it is growing happily right here. So yeah, I'm hoping that'll get a little bigger, and once it does, I'll probably plant that somewhere else in my front garden bed as well. And this is the last thing I've got growing. This is Swiss chard. You can see that beautiful color in the bottom of the stalk. So we've got some yellow, and then over there is some of the red. And so I could actually put some of this in a salad even today, but I've decided I'm just going to let it get a little bit bigger because there's not all that much here. And you know, if I trim back the baby leaves right now, they're not going to get bigger, and I won't get as much of a harvest. So yeah, we'll just do that as a dish probably, I don't know, in a few weeks. We'll see how it grows. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with how the garden looks. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Yeah, this arch trellis in the back is probably my favorite part of the garden, so I feel really accomplished that I was able to get that to work, and I'll probably try doing even more of these next year. So signing off, look forward to my next video. I'll probably post it in a month or so like I did with this one, so you can see what's growing, what happened with what I started with, and what I ended up with. So all right, happy gardening. Talk to you all soon. Bye.